Hello everybody, welcome to the Self-PubCon presentation, Why Your Marketing Plan is Your Most Essential Publishing Tool. My name is Clayton Noblit, and I'm the Digital Marketing Manager at Written Word Media. And at Written Word Media, I do all sorts of different marketing activities. So I do everything from running ads on Facebook, to email marketing, to search engine optimization and running blog posts. So I've got a lot of really great experience marketing in the book industry, and I'm really excited to share some of what I've learned with you today. Before we get started, just a quick overview of what Written Word Media does, in case you're not familiar, is we offer 5 different promotional sites for authors to choose from, each catering to a different price point or genre preference. So if you want to promote your book with us, you almost definitely have a site that will fit your needs. How our sites work is when a reader comes to one of our sites or brands, they sign up to receive daily emails with book recommendation. What makes our service really helpful and valuable to readers is that each email is personalized to each person. So when a reader signs up, they tell us what device they read on, what genres they like, and what brand they choose tells us how price sensitive they are. For example, if Bob signs up for Free Booksy and tells us he likes thrillers and sci-fi and he reads on a Kindle, he will only ever receive emails with free books in sci-fi and mystery that are available on Kindle. If Mary signs up for Bargain Booksy and tells us she likes to read literary fiction and self-help on a Nook, she will only ever receive books that are priced $4.99 or less and in literary fiction or self-help and are available on Nook. So it's a really personalized email, and because they're so personalized, we have very high open rates and click rates, as readers really use our daily emails as the #1 place where they're going to find the next book that they will read. So for readers, we are a place to discover new books. For authors, we are a book promotion service because we put your books directly in front of the right reader. This is just a quick rundown of our 5 promo sites. Free Booksy is for promoting free ebooks. Bargain Booksy is for promoting ebooks $4.99 and below. New in Books is for newly released books. Red Feather Romance is for steamy romances only. It's the only genre that's promoted there. And Audio Thicket is our newest brand, and it is for promoting audiobooks. All right, so without any further ado, let's get started. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a framework and a mindset that we use here at Written Word Media to make marketing more approachable and efficient. By the end of this presentation, you'll have a mental framework and a marketing plan template to help you maximize your marketing success. Last year, we did a survey of authors that was very illuminating. We asked authors questions about how many books they had published, how long they had been writing, how much they earn from their writing, and how they market their books. And we realized that this GIF pretty much summarizes how authors are feeling about marketing. When asked how much time they were spending on marketing, we heard a lot of not enough. Across all groups, regardless of how much money authors were making or how many books they had written, marketing was ranked as the most difficult aspect of being an author. Authors also felt guilty that they were spending too little time on marketing. This seemed to be the case no matter how much time they were actually spending marketing each week. Authors that were spending as much as 15 hours a week on marketing felt like they weren't doing enough, and authors spending 1 hour a week on marketing felt like they weren't doing enough. It's clear that authors are feeling inadequate, resentful, helpless, and frustrated when it comes to marketing. And that's a tough set of emotions to be feeling, especially given that marketing is an unavoidable aspect of being an author if you want to make a living. What I can tell you is that anyone who has ever tried to market has at some point felt these feelings, myself included. What I'd like to explore today is why marketing can make us feel this way. In the 1970s, psychology researchers asked the question, how do we stay internally motivated? They made it sound fancier than that by calling it self-determination theory, but basically, they were trying to figure out what makes us tick. They discovered that there are 3 universal needs that are essential for the psychological health and well-being of every individual. And personally, I've found that this is true, for me at least. They decided that competence, autonomy,
and relatedness are the three universal needs. I'm going to illustrate how the current marketing landscape, what I'm going to call marketing land, specifically undermines these three basic needs today. Let's start with competence. Competence is wanting to feel good at something. Many of the marketing tools and platforms out there require at least some level of competence if you are to use them well. You will gain mastery of running Facebook ads, for example, but then a new feature will roll out and you'll have to learn the platform over again just to stay at that same level. I experienced this with all sorts of different marketing systems. Facebook ads, I'll run a campaign 1 month, and then the next month the campaign settings will change, and I'll have to relearn how to set up a campaign just to be at the same level I was before. I have the same thing with an email system. For example, our email provider will often change how their templating system works, and so in order to do the same thing I did the month before, I'll have to relearn something. And so it's very hard to feel like you're progressing and getting better when you feel like you have to learn over and over the same base level of skills. It's very hard to feel a sense of mastery in marketing land, and this leads to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Next up is autonomy. Autonomy is our need to have a sense of control over life. Anyone with kids has probably seen this play out when they say things like, "No, I do myself." In marketing land, we lack the control we would like. We have no recourse when the rules are changed, our accounts are disabled, or effectiveness declines. I'm seeing this right now with the election. Right? So there's a lot more ad spend due to the upcoming election on platforms like Facebook and Google. And so it's getting more and more expensive to get the same results I was getting, a few months ago, as there's more competition on the platform. There's nothing I can do about this, but I feel like I'm doing worse because other people are spending more. The lack of control in marketing land leads to our feelings of helplessness and resentment. It can be really frustrating to have no control over how well your ads are doing. Lastly, we have relatedness. As human beings, we are hardwired to interact and be connected to others. In our current age of social media proliferation, this can lead to a constant fear of missing out, or FOMO. We compare ourselves to others, what we all do, and we believe that they know more than we do. We believe we may have overlooked the one marketing tactic that everyone else knows about and will solve all of our marketing woes. This can leave us feeling guilty. I know, I'm always looking at marketing Twitter, and I'll see somebody talking about, user-generated content, or, I'm advertising on Verizon now, and here are my results. And, everything's going to be different for different industries, but it makes you wonder, what am I missing out on? Is there kind of this magic bullet that's going to solve all my marketing problems? Pursuing competence, autonomy, and relatedness are the things that make us human. When these needs are not being met, we will experience negative emotions. So, what can we do? We can admit defeat, or we can take another path. I'm a marketer. I love marketing. I do it every day. But even I have my days, or weeks even, where it seems like nothing is going my way and I'm having no success. And it's really difficult to kind of just keep going and keep trying new things when I feel like nothing is working. We often hear from authors saying similar things, saying, I became an author because I love to write, not because I love to market. And that makes complete sense. If I, a marketer, am having trouble staying motivated or occasionally feel really down about how things are going, I can only imagine how it is for somebody who doesn't identify with marketing and doesn't have a passion for it. So, at Written Word Media, we are a marketing company. That's what we do. Everyone at the company is engaged in marketing every day. And we keep it fun despite it having a failure here or a success there. We're able to stay positive and keep moving forward. And today I'd like to share a little bit about how we do that and share a template and a mindset that we have as a company that has helped me a lot professionally and I think can help you both enjoy marketing more and see more success. Okay, so let's start thinking about specific marketing techniques and what authors think about them. Here are the results from the author survey that I mentioned earlier. We conducted it last year. And it plots the effectiveness of different marketing techniques against the time investment required for each. What you'll notice is that aside from BookBub deals and promo sites, most marketing activities are clustered around the midline. You can see Facebook and Amazon ads are pretty effective, but they take a lot of time to get good at. And as we mentioned earlier, things are constantly changing, so you have to work at them as you run them. You can't just kind of plug and play and just leave them. Social media, a little bit less time investment, and is also still pretty effective. Newsletter swaps and giveaways, not as effective and not as much time investment, so those are probably still good things to be doing. BookBub ads, high time investment, but authors seem to not think that they're very effective, or at least for a lot of authors they aren't. And then, obviously promo sites, like I said, like ours at Written Word Media and BookBub deals, it's a lot more of a plug and play sort of thing where you enter your book information, schedule your promo, and you're ready to go. So those are low time investment and they're highly effective, but they are more expensive. The data gets more interesting, though, when you look at the distribution by each answer. BookBub deals scored the highest in aggregate, but when we looked at the distribution, a whopping 21% of authors rated it as ineffective. And so I think a lot of this was because it's hard to get a BookBub deal. You can't rely on that for your marketing tactics. If you can get one, that's great, but a lot of authors can't. And then once you get one, it's hard to get them repeatedly. And so this kind of skews this data, and a lot of authors find them to not be as effective. Next up, we have promo sites like ours at Written Word Media. Examples are Free Booksy, Bargain Booksy, Early Bird Books, E-Reader IQ. Different promo sites like this are sites where authors will pay to be placed in an email newsletter that is sent out to readers. And so this technique works for a lot of authors, but it doesn't for at least 13% of authors, and for around 25%, it either doesn't work or doesn't work very well. Newsletter swaps. This is when authors offer to promote each other's books to their mailing lists. And so, a common thing would be two mystery authors to be like, okay, I'll promote your mystery book to my mystery readers, and you'll promote my mystery book to your mystery readers. And so this swap is great because it's free generally, and also you can kind of get some new readers that will be interested in your genre. So I love this technique for authors. I think it's a great way to both gain a rapport with other authors and learn from them, and also get new readers that are highly targeted and for a cheap price too. So I think this is a great technique, but unfortunately it scored pretty low by most authors. But of course there are at least 50 authors out there who say there's nothing better, and these work fantastically. And so obviously this probably has a lot to do with how big your mailing list is and how big the mailing list is that you're swapping with. And so these can vary in effectiveness, but for a lot of authors they don't work very well at all. Next up, we have Facebook ads, and Facebook ads lean decidedly to the left side of the scale, not as effective for authors, but I can tell you that we at Written Word Media find it a very effective way to reach readers. We have a goal of adding 20,000 readers to our brands every month, 20,000 across all of our brands, and Facebook is a very important part of that strategy. However, it's important to acknowledge that we have a very large audience built up, and so we're able to create lookalike audiences and cut and segment our existing audience to find more people like them that are interested in books. So we have a really big advantage over authors who don't have a large audience to build lookalikes off of. And also, we've just been doing Facebook ads for a really long time, and so we've got a lot of experience. So it makes a lot of sense that this isn't as effective for authors as it is for Written Word Media as a company. Next up, we have Amazon ads. Amazon ads work for about 25% of authors, but also don't work for another 25%. So it's really difficult to tell if this technique is going to work for a specific author. I think Amazon ads can be pretty difficult to set up, especially if you're first learning. The keywords can get pretty confusing and can be difficult to find the correct keywords. It's also pretty competitive and can get pretty expensive. You're bidding against other publishers, big publishing companies that are advertising their books. You're also bidding against other authors and companies that are selling products even. So Amazon ads can be pretty difficult to run, and so I understand why a lot of authors have a hard time with them. And then, we obviously have some authors that love them and have a lot of success. And that, there could be a number of factors that could impact that. Authors could not be in a very competitive genre. So it could be cheaper for them to get clicks. They could be, professional marketers themselves and be taking that experience into their author careers. And so, there's a ton of different reasons why Amazon ads could work or could not work for different authors. You get the idea. The point here is that the wisdom of the crowd can point you to different marketing tactics that are more likely to be effective. But at the end of the day, the tactics that will be most successful for you are the ones that play to your strengths. Yes, some techniques ranked as less effective and some ranked as more effective overall, but every technique has at least some authors who ranked it as highly effective. Just because another person says something works or doesn't work for them doesn't mean that it will be the same for you. Your job is to find your power zone. To find your power zone, ask yourself, where do I already have competency or the potential to develop competency? Where do I have curiosity? And what do I enjoy doing? If you don't enjoy a marketing technique, it's going to be hard to be good at it. It's always going to feel like a slog. And this is something we do as a company at Written Word Media. We identify what each team member is good at and enjoys, and that's the stuff that they really focus on. And I think this really pays off and helps us stay active, engaged, and positive as we're working through our day. And everybody has different strengths, so at the end, it really balances out. For example, I'm a data person. I love crunching numbers, I love Excel spreadsheets, and I love the challenge of identifying the right message for the right audience. For that reason, creating, running, and analyzing Facebook ads is my happy place. I enjoy it, and I have the skill set to be good at it. For some people, sharing their lives online, writing witty posts, and composing compelling images is where they shine. So social media is a place that feels fun for them. For me, Twitter and posting on my personal Facebook page are not a happy place for me. I don't enjoy sharing things about my life for whatever reason, and I just don't feel energized by doing it. And so for me, focusing on engaging people with social media is a little more difficult. I could analyze some numbers and advise somebody else on how to improve that, but coming up with questions and witty posts to share is definitely not my power zone. Or maybe you just want to be left alone to write. You can be successful at marketing without self-promotion or social media. These are just 3 examples, but no matter who you are, there's a way to market that can feel fun and something you can be good at. The most important question to ask yourself is what feels fun, what sparks curiosity or joy. Joanna Penn, who's a fantastic author influencer, and if you aren't familiar with her work, I encourage you to look her up. Joanna Penn, the creative Penn. She talks about how she has the skill set to be good at Facebook and Amazon ads, given that she was a management consultant before becoming a full-time author. But scrolling through spreadsheets all day is not fun for her. So she chooses not to focus on ads as much, and she focuses more on blog posts and podcasting. By the same token, there may be some of you sitting here today who don't feel like you have the background or skill set to try paid ads. But reading and learning about it sounds fun and sparks a desire to be good at it. That's enough. Take the time to learn to grow your competency. If it's something that feels good, then you can be good at it. Once you have identified your power zones, it's important to focus on them to the exclusion of other marketing tactics. This is easier said than done, and this is where creating a marketing plan is vital to staying on track. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to stay focused. No, this doesn't mean you never change course or try something new. Instead of becoming distracted when you hear about or come up with some marketing inspiration that is outside of your plan, write it down. After you finish your current marketing plan, you can come back to these ideas and see if you want to try them during the next marketing plan period. Coming up with a plan and sticking to it helps me tremendously, and I think it's been a key to Written Word Media as a company having marketing success. In the next slide, I'll explain a little bit more about what our marketing plans look like and how authors like you can use them in your marketing. We find that when it comes to marketing plans, specificity trumps intent. What that means practically is that you can have the best of intentions of focusing, but to really put your new plan and mindset in action, you will have to be specific about your areas of focus or your power zones. The number of hours you want to set aside each week for marketing, and the duration of your marketing plan. We recommend doing your planning in 90-day increments, and that means you set your intention for the next 90 days and you create a detailed plan on how to execute on it. At the end of that 90-day period, evaluate how things went and use your insights and experience to craft your next 90-day plan. By having a specific plan, it means that when you sit down at your desk each day, you won't have to spend time figuring out what to do. It will all be laid out for you so you can dive right in. This is what we do at Written Word Media. Every quarter we go through our company goals for the year, and then we break them down into quarterly goals. And so then, I as a marketing manager will have my quarterly goals, and I'll make a plan each week to decide what I'm going to do to further each one of those goals in that given week. And since I've got my week planned out, then every time I come to my desk in the morning, I know what I need to focus on. And of course things will come up and I'll have to push something to the next day, or something will take longer than I intended to, so I'll have to bump something else back. But because I've got 90 days to get through it all, I know that if something takes a little bit longer, I can always make it up later if something goes a little bit easier or quicker than I expect. Planning out the quarters like this is really helpful. It, one, gives you a sense of achievement when you're done with your plan, and two, it just really helps you stay focused. If I'm ever at my desk and wondering, what should I be doing right now, I can quickly go look at my goals and get refocused and ready to go. This is an example marketing plan that an author can use to plan out their 90-day plan. So at the top here, we've got the planned start date and the planned end date. So this is just the first quarter of 2020 as an example. And then we've got the month. And so January, and we've got the target hours per week. This author wants to spend 5 hours per week marketing. And in the month of January, they want to spend $200 on marketing. In the top right, we have our focus areas or power zones. And this author has decided that one is promo stacking. They feel like they have a strong grip on scheduling and setting up KDP countdown deals or free days. And they feel like they can really set up a really good stack of promotions one after another to boost their book. And so, even if you might not have confidence that you can do this, if that sounds interesting, promo stacking is a really effective way to promote your book. If it's interesting, toss it in one of your focus areas. If it doesn't work out, then it won't be on your next 90-day plan. Second, they have email list building. So, as we talked about earlier, newsletter swaps can be really effective if you have a good size list and the author you're swapping with has a good size list. So building your email list is a great way to increase the effectiveness of newsletter swaps and to promote your books in general. People who sign up for your mailing list are going to be interested in your work, and so anytime you have a new book or you want to just promote one of your older books, you can email them, and it doesn't cost you a dime aside from your ESP fee. So when you have somebody's email address, they're much cheaper and easier to reach than running ads on a platform like Facebook or Amazon. Third, the focus area here is Facebook presence. And so this author just wants to increase their presence on Facebook, connect with readers, and hopefully get readers to share their work with their friends. And so they've got specific goals that they want to do during this month, and as they progress, what they want to do each week, and in what type of posts they want to do as well. To pull it all together, in order to set up a smart marketing plan, you first need to understand your emotional triggers. Then you need to find your power zone and commit to focusing on it or several. Then you need to make a plan. And then at the end of your 90-day period, you need to revisit and tweak your plan for the next period. Following this process to create a smart marketing plan will help you stay motivated and avoid burnout. Anyone can create a 90-day plan, but by putting in the early work of understanding the emotional triggers and our needs for competence, autonomy, and relatedness, we can decide on focus areas that will work for us. Once you have your focus areas, make your 90-day plan and stick to it. Then, at the end of the 90 days, you can evaluate. How did that go? Did one of my focus areas give me trouble? Was one successful or fun? Take this experience and make a plan for the next 90 days. It could be the same plan, just repeated over. It could be a completely different plan, or it could be a mix of techniques that you used in the last period and some new ones that you want to try out. It's always satisfying to look back and see what you've done at the end of the quarter. Having a plan also helps me see what I've done and make sure that I acknowledge what I've achieved in the last 90 days. If you take this approach, you may find that you actually spend less time on marketing, and that's okay. You will be doing less, but be better and more focused on what you're doing so you can actually gain traction instead of just spinning your wheels. You'll also regain control. You'll be spending time on activities that you enjoy, and you'll start to build competence in specific areas. Having a well thought out marketing plan is essential to my progress as a marketer, and it's the best way that I know to build competence and success. If you can shift to a new way of thinking about conducting your marketing activities, we may be able to dispense with the sighs and perhaps even find ourselves smiling the next time we find ourselves entering marketing land. And that's it. Thank you for joining me for this presentation. Just a little more information about Written Word Media. You can head to writtenwordmedia.com for a great blog full of posts on how to run a promo stack, marketing your book on Amazon, running Amazon ads, just a ton of great information on our blog, so I encourage you to check that out. You can sign up for our monthly email list to see a monthly email with a new blog post, some links of interest for authors, and just some really good content there. Also, I would encourage everybody to check out the Free Booksy series promotion. This is a promotion that our CEO, Ricky Woolman, came up with this past spring. And basically what this promo does is it sends readers to your Amazon series page. And so if you have a series of books published on Amazon or another retailer, you can book a Free Booksy series promo, and we will send readers to the series page, which is exclusive to your series. The series page doesn't have any other books or also boughts listed below it, and so it's a great way to showcase your work, and we're seeing authors get some fantastic results. So if you have a series and you're considering making one book in the series free, at least temporarily, I encourage you to check out the Free Booksy series promotion. We've been seeing some fantastic results, and I think you'll benefit highly from it. You can always follow us on Twitter at WrittenWordM, and check us out on Facebook.com/WrittenWordMedia. Thank you again for joining me for this presentation. Once again, I really believe having a well thought out and well planned marketing plan is essential for publishing and marketing success. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at clayton@writtenwordmedia.com. It's my personal email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Cheers.